And welcome in to the Josh Ennis Show. It is Josh. It is Jilly. It is Luther. And we welcome you into the party today. Boy, we got a lot to get into today, kiddos. We have got a lot. In particular, one thing that is just spectacular today. Oh, this NASCAR thing is spectacular. All the media dopes, all of them. It's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty when all these frauds are revealed. It's just fantastic. Oh, so many layers upon layers of this. And all these people are like, oh, Josh, you're racist for thinking the way you're thinking, bro. As it turns out, people are just so hungry to have a big racist, juicy NASCAR story that they just jumped right in on the fact that there was a noose in the garage. Turns out, it wasn't. So we're going to get into that here momentarily. Jilly, how are you?
I'm good.
Jilly is good. Luther, today. I don't feel too good today, Dan.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with them.
I don't feel too good today. Tell Dr. Busby to help me out. She says she have something that can make me feel better. Yeah, Luther's just a little run down today. So I'm assuming he'll be better tomorrow. Okay. But Dr. Busby, of course, we bring up ToeGrips.com. That's ToeGrips.com. And guess what, kiddos? If your dog is having issues getting around a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Maybe needs to improve hip and joint flexibility, maybe mobility. You know, dog's a little stiff. Well, how about this? Here's what you can do, kiddos. You can go to ToeGrips.com and buy Dr. Busby's Encore Mobility. That's right. Dr. Busby's Encore Mobility is a green-lipped muscle and New Zealand deer velvet combo, which is a novel ingredient not found in the big-name joint supplements in the U.S. But get this story about Dr. Busby. So, Dr. Busby learned of the product over 3 years ago from an Israeli veterinarian at a veterinary acupuncture conference, which may be where you need to go, Luther. Veterinary acupuncture. And such dramatic results have been seen with her patients that she's gone through the rigorous process of getting certified with the FDA and the USDA to import the formula from New Zealand. And you can get it right now at ToeGrips.com. And good news, you can get 10% off. You mentioned the Josh Ennis Show, and in particular, you got to mention Luther, Luther, at checkout, and you will save 10% just using that code Luther for the Encore Mobility or for the Toe Grips or whatever else you might purchase on the website that is awesome. It is ToeGrips.com. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and of course, that promo code is Luther for 10% off. But that money-back guarantee is where the party's at, kiddos, because again, maybe you try it doesn't work for your dog, but it's worth a shot. It is worth a shot. So go to the website, ToeGrips.com. She's got the great blog. You love the blog.
She does.
There's always some sort of situation with that blog that you can find relatable to you and your dog. They got the do-it-yourself nail clipping. I mean, they do it all. ToeGrips.com. That's ToeGrips.com. We urge you to check them out and use the Luther promo code for 10% off, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. It'll change your dog's life. Luther's been getting around so much better, but just check them out. ToeGrips.com. Let's see. Josh was so money this afternoon with his take on Bubba. I know. I rule. I think we can confirm that now. I'm the only person, if I had to guess, I am the only person who was on the radio in Houston that had any sort of balls to just say, hey, let's wait and see if this thing actually really is quote-unquote racism, if there is quote-unquote a noose.
Right.
I'll pat myself on the back because I doubt anybody else in this damn town was doing that because everybody's afraid of their own shadow. Everybody's afraid of being called racist. Everybody's afraid to just ask questions. You can't tell me that when you heard there's a noose in the garage that the first thing, like your first thought had to be, okay, there's something up here. This is weird. It's too convenient. There's something bizarre here. Like this, I just found it hard to believe that in the midst of all of this, somebody would take the chance of putting a noose in a locker, or in a garage rather, and risk ruining their career, ruining their life, being arrested, whatever. It was completely absurd to think it was possible. And now we know it, that someone didn't place a noose in here. It was a door pull, like the guy, that I give the guy credit, I don't know his name, But the guy today who posted the picture, the before and after, the November picture, and then the picture from today where you say, look, in all these lockers, there's little noose-looking things to pull down the garage doors, and then now it's gone. Figure that out. And, of course, this person was right. The FBI confirmed he was right. And all of this was nothing but stone-cold bullshit.
The actual statement from NASCAR today says, quote, the FBI report concludes and photographic evidence confirms that the garage door pull rope fashioned like a noose had been positioned there since early as last fall.
And that guy that posted the picture was right.
Obviously, well before the 43 team's arrival on garage assignment. We appreciate the FBI's quick and thorough investigation and are thankful to learn that this was not an intentional racist act against Bubba.
No shit.
We remain steadfast in our commitment to providing a welcoming and inclusive environment for all who love racing.
Oh, good for them.
Now, they do still say it was fashioned like a noose.
Okay, because it can be, and that's the thing that happens now is that you leave that in there, and now it just whets the appetite of all these morons who have no idea about, take the time to learn that that's how a lot of these handles look when you pull down a garage door. Of course, so now that leaves it open for a bunch of people, mostly northern Yankees, just dopes.
Aren't going to believe the FBI.
They're not going to believe the FBI. The same people who were telling me that I was a conspiracy theorist today are now the same people who are going to become the conspiracy theorists when they've now found out the reality of this situation is that there was no hate crime in NASCAR. And shame on NASCAR for going public with this right out of the chute like a bunch of dopes, too. They went right out of it. You know why they went right out of the chute? Because they knew this would be a sexy story that would draw eyes to the television. That's why they went with it as early as they did. And here's what I don't understand.
Well, did NASCAR, do it first, or did, someone in the media find it and blow it up themselves?
No, I think NASCAR did it. Someone told them inside, and NASCAR got right out in front of it. Mm-hmm. It backfired because they were totally wrong.
Well, it didn't really backfire, because for the most part, what I've seen is people saying, well, it's a happy ending because it wasn't racism, and it showed that people can come together and support a sport that has had a racist reputation, but is not.
Okay, and by the way, the reason NASCAR has a racist reputation is because there's some dopes that fly flags, and there aren't a bunch of black dudes in NASCAR. So any sport or anything in life where there aren't any black dudes or very few black dudes, we just assume it's racist because that's what the media does. Oh, it's racist, okay? And it's in the South, and it's NASCAR and whatever. But let's get real here, man. NASCAR, they got out in front of this because they knew that it was going to draw tons of attention and there was all this drama and they wanted the opportunity to step up and say, we're not racist. By the way, that entire showing that you had before the race where they all walked out with his car and everything is a total sham now because it's built upon a foundation of a lie of bullshit. And here's what I don't understand about it. Here's the thing that really fascinates me about all this. How is it that in NASCAR, the guy posted that picture, the garage next to his had the noose-shaped thing, so did his, right? I see MW Soulgrove here in the chat. What is he saying? He is saying that he works in the storage industry and all of their loops are tied like that into a rope, to pull down on the storage handle, right? Or to pull down the garage doors, whether it be in a storage locker or a garage. How is it that it took the FBI 2 days? Here's what I want to know. And here's where I think there's a lot of bullshit in this. Explain to me how this person sees this noose in a garage. And this person then goes to NASCAR and says, this is a noose. How did somebody from NASCAR not just step in and go, look at the garage next to you. Look at the garage down here.
Because then you're racist. If you don't believe the claim, then you're telling people to be silent. And that's part of the problem. So you have to investigate.
It is absurd is what this is. You have to, but what ends up happening is the FBI has to come in and waste 2 days to unearth that this loop is in every damn garage.
And I also don't think this is a lie necessarily. I think it's an overreaction more so. I don't think it's like the Jussie Smollett thing,
it's not.
Where it was
a whole
elaborate scheme. I think somebody just saw this and was like, oh wow, that's a noose, and ran with it and ran to NASCAR with it because this is we're offended by pancake syrup and Eskimo pies, and the town of Columbus has to be changed to Flavortown. So people are very sensitive, and every little thing is setting them off.
But at some point, someone's got to nut up.
As ridiculous as it seems.
Here, someone needs to nut up in NASCAR, and when someone brings that to their attention, say, here's the thing. This is Now, here's the question. Now, that
But
picture.
then someone would have gone back to NASCAR and said, well, why do you have racist symbolism in every one of your garages?
And then someone needs to just suck it up and say, okay, fuck off. That's what they should say at some
assure you
point.
that those
at some point, say screw off
those
because you're
garage
reaching.
pulleys are not going to look like that anymore. Change.
Probably, but that's and then okay. So the picture I saw today showed what it looked like before and after. So does that mean that somebody took this noose, they cut it from the rope and took it to them? Like, because allegedly Bubba never saw this thing. That's
Right.
the claim, right? So, because I would assume that someone like Bubba, who's in that garage, or is in these garages, been around garages his whole life, if one of his boys walked up to him and goes, hey, Bubba, did you see that there's a noose? He would go, hey, dipshit, that's not a noose. That's how we pull the garage door down. Like you would think, right? You would think that would be the case. That can't be like that out of bounds to think that. So to me, I feel like somebody must have, because that picture that was there today did not have the loop at the bottom of that rope.
Well, they probably
So did someone go in and cut that down and bring it into NASCAR and say, we found this? Because if anybody in NASCAR would have seen that hanging, they just would have gone, oh, you mean the door handle? You mean the rope that they used to pull down the door?
That or they cut it down after it was deemed insensitive. Who knows? I mean, you can read the full FBI investigation. Like the full thing is up there.
This thing is out of control. And I still don't totally buy that it's over and that we might not find something else about how this thing went down. And I hate to get all unsolved mysteries on you and back into the left on you, but something is weird here.
No, I think it's just that people are overly sensitive. So when they see something like that, like, oh, it's offensive.
But
Again, we live in a world where people are offended by pancakes.
Fine, you're not wrong. But if you're NASCAR in that situation, NASCAR still didn't have to go public with this when they had, like, because all they've done is gone through 2 days of this now, only to find out what they probably already knew, which is this wasn't a racist symbol. It was a handle to pull down a garage door. So why, like, if someone saw this, why didn't they go to a NASCAR official and say, oh my God, I see a noose, come see this? They show them this, and they go, oh wait, I can see where that might look that way, but that's the rope from the garage door, and people are using that to pull it down. Because like the way it looks is, whoever discovered this or someone that was involved in it took some scissors, whatever, took a big, some shears, and cut the noose part of it off. Maybe that happened. Maybe they cut that off to take it in and say, oh my God, I found a noose.
Well,
so I can understand if you're in NASCAR and they come in with just a noose in their hands and they're like, oh my God, I found this in the garage, where NASCAR would go, oh shit. What I can't understand is if the NASCAR people actually saw this rope hanging, how they could at any point just not go, hey, this is not a noose. It is, in fact, a rope used to pull down the garage and then just clear up the thing. Why did NASCAR just automatically decide, hey, we're going to go public with this and get the FBI involved?
Well, but if you read the FBI statement, it does make it sound like these noose-shaped, like, whatever items were not in every garage.
But if you look at the picture, and if I'm making this up, I'm making this up.
And this says that in garage number 4, where the noose was found, it was assigned to Bubba Wallace just last week. The investigation also revealed evidence, including authentic video confirmed by NASCAR, that the noose found in garage number 4 was in that garage as early as October of 2019.
And it wasn't Bubba's garage then either.
No, but so the question then becomes, like we said, you move the goalpost, as you like to say.
Yep.
Why was there a noose in this garage in 2019?
I believe, if I saw the picture correctly, the garage next to it also had a rope. These people are full of shit.
Although the noose is now known to have been in garage number 4 in 2019, nobody could have known Mr. Wallace would be assigned to garage number 4 last week. But again, like this, the FBI statement then makes it sound like, well, there was this noose there since 2019 and no one, called anybody on it. Is there not video from 2018 where we also see a rope hanging from garage number 4? I assume they have video from every year.
Again, I'd like to see the pictures again and see the one next to it and see what that rope looked like in there as well.
But that's why I'm just wondering why 2019? Like that just the way this, and maybe the FBI's in on it. Who knows?
The FBI ain't in on shit.
Well, then
but
why
NASCAR,
are they making
I think
it
NASCAR
seem,
is full of shit.
Why in the FBI statement, this isn't the NASCAR statement, are they saying that it was only in garage number 4 as of 2019?
because they're saying that to say that it wasn't just put there today or yesterday because Bubba Wallace
Right.
was here.
But why
It's
was
because
there?
that is they should have said, and they did say it's the device used to pull down a garage door. I agree with you that the FBI left this thing open for interpretation when they shouldn't have, and so did NASCAR. It's just a typical, like, my guess is most of these ropes, like, because it's a lot easier to pull down a rope if there's a loop at the end of it,
Right.
than if there's just a straight rope, right? Like,
Well,
this
then
can't
I
be that
think-
uncommon.
I feel like the FBI did a really poor job because not once did they say in their official statement that it's a rope used to pull the door shut. Not once. It just says the noose was found in garage 4. The investigation revealed evidence, including authentic video confirmed by NASCAR, that the noose found in garage number 4 was in that garage as early as
And
October
by the way,
2019.
if that thing was a noose, and I said this on the air today, if that's a noose, you couldn't hang a fucking ferret with that noose. It's a tiny little loop that's big enough for you to grab onto it and pull a garage door down.
well, I'm sure it's just
So,
symbolic.
like, I think they were wrong. And if you want to say it's fashioned like a noose, whatever, it's a goddamn loop. It's a handle. Like, the idea that this, like, hey, by the way, this is a noose, you're just making the situation worse because it's going to leave it open for all the morons on Twitter to go, oh, why was there a noose? It wasn't a noose. It was a loop to pull a garage door down.
Well, that's why I feel like then maybe
Christ!
they should have gone back further and said, okay, look, this has always been here. This is what it's used for. They shouldn't have said the noose was there since October of 2019. Because all that doesn't make it seem like, well, why was there a noose in this garage for this long? And how did no one notice? Because racism is existing in NASCAR.
It's garbage. And that's just people that want to believe that shit. It's absolute garbage.
I think the statement makes it very believable. If you're just reading the FBI statement, that's how it comes across.
I'm not just, that's why I'm saying it's
Yeah.
garbage. I'm saying it's complete bullshit. And anybody who would believe that that's a noose just wants to believe it's a noose. They want to race bait and they want to believe that bullshit. It is completely false and completely ridiculous. You called it, Josh. It never made any sense. That was my point. I didn't know who was in on it. I didn't know, and I did say that I didn't believe Watson was in on, not Watson, but Wallace was in on it himself. I thought that maybe someone in his team was involved in it because they're the ones that discovered it. And if it wasn't that, something didn't make sense. But what did I say was the least likely possibility? That it was just some random racist. And that's what they want you to believe. They wanted you to believe that this was just some random racist that was like, look, I don't like black people and stop messing with my NASCAR. And that's what they wanted you to believe in that story. It was bullshit. It wasn't even a noose. That's how ridiculous this is. Matt Grove said he got his shirt today.
All
That's good. I didn't
right.
see my Instagram. I don't have my phone, so I didn't look at it. But that's good. I'm glad you got your shirt. Thank you for the bits, Dr. Greg. Welcome to the party. And people are saying Smollett. I don't believe that this is Smollett. I really don't.
It's actually very different from Smollett.
Yeah, I don't. And because I'm not going to discredit or rip Bubba Wallace for this. I don't believe he's in on it.
Because no
And
one
if anybody
set it
is,
up.
it's his people or NASCAR, but I don't believe he is because he'd have too much to lose. He would have too much to lose if he were somehow involved in something.
This wasn't an item that was brought in by anyone either. This was something that was there that some dope was like, oh, wow, that's a noose. And then it just blew up.
But I blame NASCAR. I blame NASCAR because if someone's going to come to you and say they saw a noose, you've got to say, listen, dude, it might look this way.
Yep.
It is not a noose. Look, hey, reach up, grab the noose, pull the noose down. Oh, wow, the garage door moves. Wow, figure that one out. Because it's there to pull down a garage door. That's why it's there. And if the person doesn't believe it at that point, you're never going to convince them because they're looking to be offended.
But again, now, like, no one's really going to, this is a happy ending. That's what I keep seeing on social media from people. This is a happy ending because there was not racism. We should be happy about this.
Yeah, but that's garbage. Because you know why? And I'll tell you why. Because these dopey media people, like this Marty Smith, he's that guy that I hate on ESPN that looks like, I don't know how you want to label it. He looks like bro country. I don't know. He just, there's something about him that's annoying. It's like they created him in like a Southern SEC hick lab. And he's crying on TV about how offensive this is and how racist this is. I enjoy that all of these legitimate mainstream media, ESPN people, I'm glad that they don't even take the time. It makes me look good. It makes me look good by being the person that just said, hey, how about we wait? How about we look at each possible situation? Because I'm not going to be someone that just jumps on the internet or on TV or on the radio and goes, oh my God, did you see the awful, terrible racism at the NASCAR race? Oh my God, we one step forward, 10 steps back. We're a horrible country and we're all racist. I don't do that shit. I look at things for what they are and I look at the situation. What did I see in the situation? I see that it didn't really make a lot of sense that given the heightened racial tension right now, that somebody would run the risk of planting a noose when there's cameras and everything all over the place. Someone would risk their career or going to jail or anything over doing something that gives them nothing in return. What return would you get if you threw, if say you're like yesterday, you brought up the dude that quit, right? The driver.
Mm-hmm.
What benefit would he get of throwing a noose in there? His life is over at that point. His career is over at that point, man.
Well, yeah, you probably think you're never getting caught.
Also, I want some apologies here. I want apologies issued from the Nick Wrights of the world and the Marty Smiths of the world. And the people are so desperate to find racism in everything that they go out there and turn this into this big racist fucking story and don't just say, hey, let's take some time to see how this thing plays out. It's garbage. And these people never have to apologize. They never have to say they were wrong. They never have to say anything. You know what they do? They just kind of like, oh, disappears. Once they're wrong, it's just slowly back up
Or they're
and on to the next thing.
It's a happy ending. It's a positive story that they turn it into. That's what you're going to get from those kind of people. But it is funny because I first heard about this from TMZ. You get the little push notification, noose found in Bubba Wallace's garage or whatever, TMZ.
Yep.
No one doubted TMZ this time.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, a celebrity dies. Oh, no, TMZ's full of shit.
Oh, like when Kobe died and TMZ had it first? Nobody believed it because they said, that's just TMZ. This is a sick joke.
Yep.
That's the thing is, people believe whatever source they want to believe if they want to believe the story. If they don't want to believe the story, they don't believe anything. Mike Wilbon and Stephen A. Smith should apologize, but their egos won't allow it. I listen to you because you're logical and make common sense, whether it's masks or nooses. Listen, I think I have a lot of common sense. And I think we need more common sense because people are so afraid of their own damn shadows. Like, did you guys see Jimmy Kimmel apologize today, finally, for the blackface? Of course, he wears blackface. He's a hero to people in the media. I post a picture of blackface that isn't even me, and I'm the biggest scumbag on the planet, but whatever. But if you read Jimmy Kimmel's apology, it's fantastic because he basically blames Trump in the apology. I got to actually find it. It's really spectacular. It's the most 2020 thing ever. Let me see here.
Well, as we learned from Drew Brees, that's the playbook. You shit on Trump, you're always forgiven.
But like, he doesn't say Trump directly, but his apology is spectacular. And I hate this too because I actually like Jimmy Kimmel and I like a lot of these guys. I used to like Howard Stern, but these guys have made their own beds now. It sucks because I think Jimmy Kimmel was once a really funny guy. But these guys have gone out and made their own bed by being extremely judgmental, and they thought they were going to be grandfathered in because they were, these guys that denounce Trump and they denounce all these other bad people, so they thought the media and the mob wouldn't come after them. Well, both have. This is great. The delay was a mistake. There is nothing more important to me than your respect, and I apologize to those who were genuinely hurt or offended by the makeup I wore or the words I spoke. In the late 90s, I continued impersonating Malone, blah, 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 blah. And he starts to talk about his impressions, all of his sketches. And at one point, where the hell is his... oh, here we go. Kimmel wrote that he has since evolved and matured in the 20-plus years. And he added, I know that this will not be the last I hear of this, and that it will be used again to try to quiet me. Also, he's playing the angle like, oh, this is being used by people who want to keep me quiet because I'm liberal, blah, blah, blah. No, dude, your liberal people are turning on you too, friend. I love this country too much to allow that. I won't be bullied into silence by those who feign outrage to advance their oppressive and genuinely racist agenda. So what Jimmy Kimmel did is he took his mistake, and instead of actually apologizing for it, Jimmy Kimmel just basically said, oh, by the way, I'm not going to be silenced by racist. The dude in blackface says he will not be silenced by racists. What a toolbox. I can't respect that. Even though I might agree with part of what you're saying, and I've been a fan of Jimmy Kimmel. I can't respect the fact that people are demanding an apology, and your apology is, I apologize because the real racists are mad at me. Okay. Gotcha. That's beautiful, isn't it? I apologize to the real racists out there, like the people that are trying to silence me. Dude, do you not realize that the conservative people are going after you because you're a guy that bashes on Trump all the time and has no humor in your show anymore. So, of course, they're going to go after you. But just as many people going after you that are conservative are the same people that built you up. Your left-wing, woke, liberal young people who will eat you the second they have a chance, and that is being proven right now, dude. I'm sorry, the genuinely really racist people. All right, who do I have to tell them about?
We're going to do Colonial Concepts and Design.
I haven't heard from Mike in a while. Speaking of our sponsors, we decided to call off our steak night tomorrow night. I just decided that, you know what? It's probably not really the main reason I didn't want to go out tomorrow night is because I'm not sure how these restaurants and bars are handling the masks.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sit at an outdoor bar with a mask on. It sounds like an awful time. So I told Gama, and he was cool with it, that we'd push it back, a couple weeks until we see which direction the stupid Rona goes.
Yeah, for all we know, they may close the bar tomorrow. Who knows?
I have no issue wearing a mask, like at Walmart or whatever. I'm really not all that interested in sitting in a restaurant or a bar, especially one that's outside, like Little Woodrow's, and sit there with a mask on.
And I think it might rain, too.
So there's a bunch of reasons why, but we just opted not to. But our buddies over at Colonial Concepts and Designs, that is Mike Cohen. That's who it is. Mike Cohen. And he's going to make sure he hires good people to work on your home. His whole crew is good people. And they want to make your homes in the Philadelphia area look top-notch. They've got floor and wall, kitchen and bath, cabinets and countertops, drywall and drywall repairs. They'll do it all for you at this Delaware Valley family-owned business that services Philly to South Jersey and everything in between. And if you mention the Josh Ennis Show, 15% off your total labor cost just for supporting GIST. How about that? How about that, kiddos? 15% off your total labor cost. And as we noted, they hire good people. Mike's a good dude with a great story, and he's going to make your house look really nice, going to modernize your home for you. But check out their work on Facebook and Instagram. But I'd go to YouTube and see the videos, see the before and after videos. It's nuts how good these things look. So it is our friends at Colonial Concepts and Designs. Give them a buzz. The number is 609-849-7558. That is 609-849-7558. Check out their before and after videos on the tube of you. All right, who is next, Jilly?
Mac Knight Safety Solutions.
Mac Knight Safety Solutions. Let me find them. There they are. Mac Knight Safety Solutions. What business are they in, Jilly Bean?
Safety.
Safety. Jilly Bean is what Tank calls me. That's his affectionate pet name for Jilly. Jilly Bean. What's cooking, Jilly Bean? But they are a safety staffing and consulting company located in Rosenberg. They work nationwide and international projects. When companies have a temporary need for safety oversight on projects, they use the folks at Mac Knight Safety Solutions versus hiring their own people. They work in industrial and commercial construction, oil field and manufacturing facilities. We also conduct facility audits for regulatory compliance and assist their clients with developing and maintaining comprehensive safety programs. They are wonderful at what they do. And they're good people here in the Houston area, and they want to take care of you. If you are on the work site, you need to make sure your workers aren't falling off of scaffolding, stuff like that. Again, I don't know all the things they do. I'm not an expert on such things. Maybe one day we'll talk with the guys from Mac Knight Safety Solutions about all the things. But they'll work for you across the country. 832-363-1295. 832-363-1295. It is Mac Knight Safety Solutions. Let's do, you want to just do one more and get it done?
Sure. Let's talk about Metro Ready Mix.
Metro Ready Mix, where the mix is Metro and ready. They are here in the Houston area, and they are in the business of what, Jilly?
Concrete.
Concrete. Slab work and foundations, patios, driveways, parking lots, pool decks. They do it all. Where's Richard? We haven't heard from Richard in forever. I think he was in here on Saturday, maybe. Maybe he was in here on Saturday. But we love him. And he's done work for Hakeem Olajuwon. He's done work for Sam Cassell. So why couldn't he do work for you? Well, lay down some foundations, get a driveway in there. I tell you, I want to have a patio outside. I do.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe when we move to Florida eventually, we'll just send Richard down. We'll say, Richard, we need concrete.
Oh, now it's when we move to Florida.
Well, I mean, at this point, Why not? I mean, it sounds appealing, doesn't it, to live in Florida? Have a pool,
Yeah.
have a patio, hang out. That's the life, right? That is the life. But Metro Ready Mix, good people. We love Richard. We love them all for being a big supporter of GIST. We do. They're trustworthy, good people. So find them. You can find them online, metroreadymix.net, or, of course, the phone number is 713-991-6466. We're in Crosby at 713-677-9699. It is our friends over at Metro Ready Mix. I tell you this, and I know I talked about it yesterday a little bit. I do enjoy working for AJ. And I texted him last night, and I'm like, I know that this thing can't go on forever because, you know, you guys can't pay me and all that, and I get it. But I will tell you that I have really enjoyed it because there's a freedom in working with AJ that I really like. It's cool.
Well, it's hard to find a boss that'll let you talk about everything.
True. And like today, I was in a break going into the last segment of the first hour, and AJ just kind of pops in and goes, "Hey, good episode today." I'm like, thanks. Appreciate it. Like, I like it that I have the opportunity to say the things that I actually want to say, and I don't get any blowback for it. And part of that is because it's a locally owned company. Part of it is because there are no teams involved in any of this, so I can't defend them. And he also understands that I'm trying to do some audio to maybe help get a job in a format that may not be sports radio, obviously. So, but it's awesome that AJ is just like, do you, man? Like, you're badass. Go do what you do. And it'd be awesome if somehow, like, it was able to work out where I could stay there because I enjoy it. But it's obviously not going to happen, so we have to find a job somewhere. But I've enjoyed it, and I think people enjoy it. Because, like, he's giving me the opportunity to do what I think sets people like me apart, what separates Clay Travis, what separates the people like that is you get to say what other people won't because they're afraid to say.
Right.
And I think that fearlessness is huge. That's why I'd love to be part of Clay Travis's brand. And I told him that. I was like, I think that the Josh Ennis show would be a great part of Outkick.com because we are similar beings in that we have a passion for exposing hypocrites. We have a passion for, saying the things other people won't. Like, so much of this media. I mean, look at this NASCAR story as an example. It's a clown show, and the media people are complicit. Nobody questioned at all because they were afraid of being called bigots or being called racist. So it was just easy to sit back and go, shame on you, NASCAR. Boy, we sure haven't really advanced, have we, right? And then, of course, it turns out that this was much ado about nothing, and all those same people who were ripping NASCAR or ripping white people or saying that everybody's racist and we haven't improved anything at all, those same people will be conveniently quiet and say nothing and do nothing, and it will just continue down this path that we're on where people are afraid of their own shadow. And as I was telling you, there is an appeal this is a big market, obviously, but working for an independent company like this affords me that freedom. If it were working with someone like Casio, it would afford me that freedom because he's got my back and he works for an independent company. So, again, I'm not saying I'm just turning down any job if someone calls and offers it with a company, but I do think part of what makes my style work is being able to say shit that other people can't or don't want to say. Like, I was looking at the gal from 97.5 in Philly today, and she posted just a completely ignorant statement about this whole thing because they didn't study it. They didn't research it. They just see noose and go, oh, my God, it's terrible news. And I wanted to say something. I didn't because I don't feel like starting Twitter fights with people. But, like, I see those comments, and I'm like, how hard would it be to do a little homework, watch a little video, and see that these garages, most of them have loops on their ropes to pull down. But it's just easy because it makes your point that white people are terrible and bigoted and that NASCAR is racist and bigoted. It's just easy to make blanket statements with no actual meat to any of it, and that really upsets me. And that's why, like, I think that what we do is very good, and we're doing a service is what we're doing. And it's not really that complex. The service we're providing, like guys like Adam Carolla, who I think is a great common sense guy. Joe Rogan's a great common sense guy. The guy Zuby that I talk about, great common sense guy. And Clay Travis, these are great common sense guys. Whitlock's a great common sense guy. And they're not afraid of the blowback from the people. Like they know what they're getting into when they do it. And I told Clay, I'm like, dude, this podcast, if you're trying to build like a bar stool, but that's kind of like a non-woke, like if Barstool is the bros, this is kind of like, I know that you're not conservative. You say you're not conservative, But this is like the type of, it's like a Barstool if Barstool were a little bit more political and less tits and ass, And I think you could do that if you're looking to build a network of podcasts. The Josh Ennis Show would kick ass on that platform. It would kick ass. Let's see here. Thank you, Dr. Greg, for the bits. People don't want to do research or read. Think about people who just go off article headline and nothing else. Well, I'll give you an example of that. That happened to me today on Facebook. I posted the link to our I posted the clip from yesterday talking about this situation with Bubba Wallace.
Right.
And the headline said, and on my story, I said, in the post on Facebook, I said, I don't think Bubba Wallace had anything to do with this, but something's weird here. Something's off. And the main reaction I got from people was, oh, you're accusing this guy of staging this? No. I just don't think it was some bigot or some racist. That's too convenient. It doesn't make sense. I still don't believe he had anything to do with it. I also don't understand how one of his buddies could see a noose and then just go tell him. And then he goes, no, dude, that's used to pull the garage door down, but whatever. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, dang, I forgot to, there we go. Hold on. I forgot to change our logo over here. Sorry, guys. There I am. There Jilly is. Sorry. There you go. Jilly's back. Don't worry.
Megyn Kelly wants Jemele Hill to apologize to NASCAR.
She should have to. But the thing is, that's the beauty about being woke and angry on Twitter is you don't have to apologize to anyone.
Well, she was angry on MSNBC.
Who?
Jemele Hill.
Oh, my point is, and you get my point.
Yes.
Being woke, you don't have to apologize because you just you stick and move on to the next one. There's no apology. Your network's not going to make you apologize. They're all cowards. They're not going to do it. Clay Travis is tits and ass. Remember the First Amendment of boobs guy. Yes, but his website isn't all tits and ass. It would kick ass, especially in this day and age, because common sense people cannot speak to common sense. Hey, again, I just think it would work. Here's what happened the other day. I was listening to an interview with a guy by the name of Sam Savage, and I've been trying to find his email address, and I just can't find the damn thing anywhere. But Sam Savage now runs Clay Travis's website. And I heard an interview, and he was explaining what he's explaining what their goal for the website is and what their big brand goal is. And it was basically fearlessness was the word that they kept going back to, fearlessness. And I don't fear shit. As people say, like somebody called today, or they were talking about how, hey, Josh Ennis is on the radio and he's just spitting truth right now. And I said, you know why I'm spitting truth on the radio? I don't have anything to lose. I'm doing a free job.
Well, you should just send some audio over to Clay. Why not? Just, you threw the idea out there. Just keep on him. Keep, saying, hey, check this out when you get a chance. Do this. Like, push a little bit. Yeah. Don't just let it be a one-off thing.
I know. How'd that talk go with the Florida radio job? It's not out of the question. I'm getting my agent's going to talk with them and see what happens. I mean, today I saw that Craig Carton is out of jail now, and he's probably going to end up back on WFAN. And which confirms my belief that I should have just gone to jail and I'd have a better chance of getting a job than I do now.
Well, you'd have a nice redemption story.
What was that?
You would have had a nice redemption story.
Better than a guy defrauding people of millions and then, getting to come back to radio and then the number one market in the country. Let's see here. 560 WQAM. That's a job that will not happen. The interview is on Barrett Sports Media. I'm beginning, like, this old greatness seems to have, radio insight here. But yes, the interview was on Barrett Sports Media. That's where it was. I read an article yesterday. The headline was, Protests Aren't to Blame for Corona Spike. When you read the article, it says the protest and reopening aren't to blame, and there isn't anything except life to blame for the spike. But people were sharing it saying, protest didn't cause it, but your haircuts and bars did. People are dumb. Of course people are dumb.
Yeah. I just read someone from The Athletic reported that evidently the NFL is going to just have it be a state-by-state, county-by-county attendance policy. There's not going to be like a mandate of like only 50%. It's just going to go base by state.
Well, they'll do that they'll say that now, but we'll see what happens in, in 2 months. See if they change their tune at all.
I'm curious what baseball is going to do. Because, 3 weeks ago, they're like, yes, sports in Texas, let's go. Outdoor venues, bring them in.
Yeah, it's not backfired because I still don't think that we're in grave danger right now. But I do think it's hopefully, and I do think we're seeing this. Like, I feel like there was less traffic the last 2 days.
Things are starting to slow down a little bit.
I think restaurants are closing a little bit. So I do think that people are kind of a bit spooked
Well,
by
today
this
the
stuff
governor
today
literally
here
said,
locally.
he's like, the safest place for you to be is in your home. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, people are going to hear that and be like, oh, got to stay home.
Yeah, but you know what? If it brings the numbers back down, it brings the numbers back down. Now, again, they'll go back up, but it is what it is. What are how do you rank the late night hosts? So they all suck.
None of them are funny anymore.
Well, that's the thing is, how can I judge people that aren't funny? Like I've never really thought Conan was funny at all. You forget he exists. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, you
forget
do.
that Conan is like he's doing like 15 minutes a night on TBS interviewing someone, so he's not doing anything. But Kimmel used to be my favorite. Kimmel has just gone kind of like, again, you see what Kimmel is now. Fallon just looks rough. I was watching online. I was watching this video. This video of him interviewing some woman who was explaining that all white people are just terrible and stuff. I'm like, this is a comedy show. Where's the comedy?
There's no place for comedy in this
Yeah,
world
I'll
right now,
give
Josh.
Colbert credit. Like, Colbert at least sticks to what he is. Like, you know what Colbert is. These other two guys were just frauds that jumped on in the movement and are now woke. At least Colbert was always kind of a jag-off that wasn't interesting. At least he stayed in character. Restaurants and bars around me are closing temporarily. Well, where is that area, Dr. Greg?
A lot of them here have too.
And you know what? If that's what they want to do, that's their prerogative. Like, I can't sit there and blame them if they're not, like, if people aren't coming out or if their workers have the Rona.
Yeah, a lot of them are getting tested and finding that multiple workers have it.
Yep. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks. And as we said, we were supposed to go to steak night tomorrow, and Gama was going to come, and I said, listen, I don't want to sit at steak night with a mask on. Which, from what I understand, is kind of the basic gist of it. If you're not eating or drinking, you're sitting there with a mask on. Or if you're at a restaurant, you order and you have a mask on until they bring you your food. Then you eat and put the mask back on.
See, I thought you can sit at your table once you're 6 feet apart from people.
Oh, can you? I don't know. Then maybe I read it wrong.
Once you're seated and away from everybody, you're fine. If you get up and move, then you would have to put your mask on.
Yeah, I don't need that. And I'm not, if that's what people are comfortable doing, that's fine, but I'd just much rather stay home.
There are a lot of cases in Harris County, though. Like, it is kind of ridiculous because other states have reopened and they've had, like, rises and stuff.
Well, we've gone hard here.
But this particular county, like, highest numbers since the whole thing started, that's impressive.
Well, we've gone hard. I think that's fair to say, right? Like,
yeah.
You look at the bars. Like, I do think that Little Woodrow's did a good job. I didn't feel unsafe at Little
Everything
Woodrow's.
was pretty spaced out there.
But when you see, it's really clubs. I'd argue the clubs and the smaller bars are a bigger issue, right? So the clubs where people are just dancing and doing whatever, they're completely oblivious and they don't care.
And the 60,000 people gathering.
And that's the part that annoys
downtown,
me.
Which is Harris County.
And people refuse to acknowledge that might have had something to do with this. Like this spike. If you have 60,000 people in downtown, and the media does everything they can to make sure they exclude the fact that 60,000 people were in downtown Houston. Like, it's okay. It doesn't make you a racist. It doesn't make you a bigot to say facts. And facts are, if 35, 40 people at a bar is ruining the world, then 60,000 people in downtown Houston is not exactly safe, and it is something that you should comment about.
Well, think about that. There was a time like weeks before that where it was like, hey, if you're gathering with more than 10 people, this is an issue.
Correct. And now
10.
all of a sudden 60,000 people, and because they're so afraid of being called racist, they refuse to just to say, listen, 60,000 people, nice gesture, but you guys are going to end up with the Rona. But the argument we hear is, oh, but everybody was wearing a mask. Not everybody was wearing a mask. And who knows how much that's really even helping if you're standing right on top of each other wearing a mask. Breaking MLB news. All remaining issues have been resolved and players are reporting to training camps. Yippee.
I still don't think it's going to happen.
Well, what's going to happen is you're going to get more of these outbreaks of the Rona, and then eventually people are just going to say, it's over. Like, I couldn't care less. First of all, this weird 40, 50 game season is going to be pointless anyway.
I believe it's 60.
The only teams that are going to care, the only fan base that's going to leave this thing happy is the one that wins the World Series. Everybody else is going to point at the team that won the World Series and say that this was completely invalid. Baseball, you're playing a third of the games you normally play. And by the way, I hate the owners, and I hate the players.
Now, are we getting like whole new schedules? Or are we just picking up where we left off? Like, where is this start? I know it never started, but like, are we just going to pick up from like the
I'm guessing they have
July
to build
schedule?
schedules,
Because there was
right?
the talk where they were just going to have, as least amount of traveling as possible.
But there's going to be more than 60 games for. Oh no, I guess the last 2 months of the year would be about 60 games. Yeah, like I just have a hard time caring about this at all, and I don't think most people will. And I do believe that what you have now is a bunch of people who are sick of the players and sick of the owners. We talked about it on the show today. It was, who do you blame? Like 2 weeks ago, I felt like most people were in the camp of the players and thought the owners were awful. Ever since the tell us when and where,
Yep.
and we're starting to see that was complete bullshit, I think now most people are just looking at both parties and saying you both suck and we're tired of you and we're not interested in baseball anymore. And I think this is still going to be a massive blow to baseball overall. Baseball doesn't have a bunch of guys that people want to see anyway. There's no McGuire Sosa to just, invigorate the entire country, and none of that exists. Like, I think a lot of people, and I don't think it's like football. Like when people would say, I'm not going to watch the NFL anymore because of the anthem protest, most people were full of shit. Because most people need the NFL. The NFL is a big deal. The NFL keeps things going. It's a football country. It ain't a baseball country. But I think when people say they're not interested in baseball and they won't watch anymore, I believe those people. I believe them wholeheartedly.
Again,
Because
it'll be
baseball,
like July 24th, opening day now. Like people will be like, I'm so glad baseball's back. Oh, my heart is full. And then the next day, nobody will care.
yeah, I don't think it is. What's the latest with basketball?
They're
Like, doesn't
supposed
Jokic,
to,
doesn't the Joker have, that he have the Rona now?
I don't know if he does. A couple guys do, though. And they're supposed to report, I think, to July 11th to Disney, maybe?
That feels like something. Here's my bold prediction. They're going to get there, and like some Rona's going to go down, and these guys are going to be trapped at Disney, and I'm telling you what it's going to become. It's going to become some sort of like white owners, black players. It's going to become one of these type of racial issues, and LeBron's going to say something, and they're going to say they're trapped, and they're being held hostage. Like, it's predictable what's going to happen with the NBA.
Yeah, the Joker, he's got it.
So the Joker's got it. I'm telling you, you can already see what's going to happen with the NBA. It's predictable. Again, everybody's all hyped up about it. Well, first of all, the basketball players are already leery about it. They get there, they realize that, holy shit, we really are just trapped here and can't go anywhere, and I don't blame them, but it will become a racial issue. I have no doubt about it. It will be a racial issue because it's just easy to turn it into that way.
So the deadline for players on the 22 teams invited to Orlando to opt out of the remainder of the season is going to be Wednesday.
So wait, tomorrow?
Yep.
So the NBA, who can opt out? The owners?
The players.
The players can opt out of it.
Otherwise, they're
they
supposed
will.
to report to start training or whatever, and then the season's supposed to resume on July 30th.
And Joe, you're right. The NBA gave the players an out, which is anyone who doesn't want to play doesn't have to. I understand that.
There's going to be nobody's going to play. LeBron will play because it's
Well,
LeBron.
that's the thing, though. If LeBron plays, was it Pat Beverly who said that? If LeBron plays, we're all playing, basically. But what's going to happen is they're going to get there, and they're going to realize that they are stuck at Disney World. And like we can rip them for that, but I don't necessarily blame them for being bored, being stuck in one place.
It doesn't
That
sound
sucks.
like it's going to suck. They've got VIP room service. They've got ping pong. They've got swimming pools. They can go to the games. They can play video games. They've got players' lounges. It's not like they're locked up, isolated in hotel rooms.
No, but like, I'm with you. But what's going to happen is you're going to get a bunch of players. First of all, someone's going to get the Rona.
Oh, yeah.
And that's obvious. Then when one gets the Rona, here's going to be the worst case scenario for the NBA, right? That they're going to agree to play. And then right out of the chute, someone's going to get the Rona. And then everybody's just going to say, we're out.
Yep.
And that's going to be worst case scenario. So I don't give a shit about any of these. Just get to football and hope for the best that football happens. That's what I'm sitting here hoping for. I'm hoping for some foosball, bitches. That's the life I'm ready to live. Give me football. That's all that matters to me. I want football, and I'll live. I don't know if there'll be fans at these football games, so obviously home field advantage will disappear
Well,
if that's the
evidently,
case.
as of now, like I said, it's going to be state-by-state basis. So one team may have a full stadium and one team may have no fans.
You know who's going to be a full stadium? Ain't nobody going to keep people out of Tiger Stadium, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, well, this is
I can
the
tell
NFL.
you right damn now that's going to happen. Oh, you're talking about the NFL?
Yeah.
Well, ain't nobody keeping people out of the Dome. it's going down for real in the Dome. And I'm telling you, ain't keeping people out of the Eagles game either. People in Philadelphia are not going to just sit back and go, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea. We're just not going to go. Will not happen. I'm telling you, it's going to be like when they try to keep people out of the stadiums. Because listen, if you only put 10,000 people in a stadium, it's worthless. So, you know what? I forgot that we played this on Saturday. There's no video for it, but this is the best. The Paul Stanley guy.
Well, we played the video on Saturday, to be
but
fair.
We're playing the audio for the.
Yeah, this is great.
What the fuck, dog?
So there's a guy that's dressed as Paul Stanley telling people to wash their hands in this
Hell
neighborhood.
yeah!
You get that thing into the world tour one more time.
Fuck yeah!
All right, I want to hear our little discussion. Who am I?
Wash your hands, man. Fucking kiss.
Which band am I in?
Kiss.
Okay, what's my name?
Gene Simmons.
God damn it, you people!
I don't fucking like Kiss.
Stanley,
I don't like.
brother, I was made for loving you hotter than hell. You think I'm Gene Simmons? You're a fool. You look like a junkie like Peter Chris or Ace Frehley. Get out of my face, people. Oh yeah, wash your hands. The CDC says 20 seconds, but you know what I do? I do 60 seconds on each hand. Yeah, scrub up. Woo!
How many seconds to wash your hands?
What?
How many seconds? 20 seconds, right?
I already said it 2 times, baby. And if you don't remember that, go ask your papa.
Oh my fucking.
That's so good. I love that.
Scrubba! Somebody asked me earlier if I'm wearing a Dolph Ziggler shirt, and I am. It is way too big for me. But yes, I'm wearing a Dolph Ziggler shirt.
It's a good looking shirt.
Because I think that he and I have similar tastes in hair metal and shirt colors.
And JCPenney shopping, evidently.
Oh, he goes to JCPenney?
He was modeling some JCPenney the other day.
Everyone should go to JCPenney. JCPenney's a fine place, and they're going to shut them down at some point, so. Give me the Rona. I want nothing to do with Samantha Bee. What is there to do with Samantha Bee? Southern Yankee said he got his GIST shirt today. That's good news. I'm glad to hear that more people are getting their GIST shirts. That's positive. I love a good GIST shirt story. People are starting to get their goods here. Do you have a part in your dad's movie that he's filming? Well, I think they're done filming, first of all. And second of all, I was offered a role, but I turned it down.
You did.
Let's see here. I came for the live rendition of Billy Davis' Eyes. Miss you in Philly. Well, thank you, friend. Appreciate that. I would go back to Philly, but unfortunately, I think that my special brand of humor would not be appreciated in Philadelphia.
Probably not.
So that's probably not going to happen. Corey got his Gist Nation shirt as well. Dr. Greg says he's still waiting. Let me ask you this, Dr. Greg. What size shirt did you order? Because the extra larges went out yesterday. They said they missed the extra larges, but everything else. Who has worked for more employers in sports media? You or Keith Olbermann? Probably Keith Olbermann. Let's see. Josh and Jilly, thanks for doing so many streams. It's getting so bad at my hospital, and you guys are the bright spot in my day. Well, I'm glad that we can help you out.
I'm glad we can entertain.
I am so, and if you want, you can listen to the Josh Innes Show on the radio as well. I was never more grateful you weren't here than today. Natalie would have had you fired in 2 seconds. Probably, if I had to get. That would probably not be an ideal spot, I don't think.
No.
Like just spouting off ignorant shit with no backbone to it, and then I'm over here like, let's let this thing play out. Fired!
Racist.
You're a racist, sexist, homophobe. Fuck. That's probably the reaction I would get to most of the thing. Yes, so there you go, Dr. Greg. You ordered an extra large, and they didn't get the extra larges out until yesterday, so you should be getting yours here in a day or two. It would have made a great story if your dad went through your agent to ask you to be in Go Fishing the movie. Wouldn't that have been something? Dad,
We
listen.
actually should have had him
like,
call
Heather,
her.
can you reach out? I'm trying to work a deal here, Dad. But he asked me to be something like some big burly prisoner in this movie that, here's the great joke. I come out, you think I'm going to be this big, bad mofo, and I'm just really feminine. That was going to be the joke.
Classic.
Oh, you want to hear a story? So my brother, who we always make fun of for being a dope, so my brother was supposed to be in my dad's movie, and he was like, his bit was supposed to be like playing his video game, like a very like life imitating art type of thing, or art imitating life. So my brother is supposed to do this role, and they built this whole thing around him. And then the day of shooting, he calls and says, "Sorry, Dad, can't make it," and just doesn't show up. So they had to just redo the whole thing.
Well, he was living in a household with the Rona, last we heard, right? Allegedly.
That was the rumor, yes.
Also, what's funny about your brothers, I bet he got paid for that. I bet he demanded money from your dad
Probably so.
to do this role.
You got to buy him some PlayStation game action here and see where it goes.
I bet you he got paid for this role that never happened.
Probably.
He is smart when it comes to that, though.
He's a hustler.
Yes, he is.
He hustles my dad. Me, I just used to grab money out of his pocket when he was asleep. Because my dad used to just carry wads of cash for whatever reason. And he would just have giant wads of cash in his pockets, and he would leave his pants. It never failed. His pants were always left on a stool in the kitchen. So I just walk out and, like, to be quick about it in case I got caught, which I never would, but I'd go in, I'd just put my hand in the pants pocket, and whatever I grabbed, I didn't want to grab too much where it was obvious. Like, usually try to be like $20. Because in that era, I could fill up my 1997 GMC Sierra with like $4. Like $5 used to make a world of difference in a car. I mean, like $5 would give you a little over a fourth of a tank of gas, and you can get wherever you needed to go. So $20 was a huge get. I can go to Burger King, get some gas, have a little money left over. I had a free movie card at multiple movie theaters, so I would just take my buddies to the movies all the time. So I kind of had it made in that regard.
Oh, you were privileged, obviously.
But that wasn't about being white. That was radio privilege. So there is a difference. But yeah, I would go to the movies all the time, and I would just grab like $20 out of his pocket. Saw your Father's Day post. It's eerie how much you look like your dad when he was younger. I know. And people say that all the time. Didn't he pay you to rub his feet and give him kisses on the mouth? Well, that's half true. He would pay me to rub his feet. And sometimes the trade-off was I'd rub his feet and he'd listen to some of my audio air checks. But we did not pay each other for mouth kisses. That Father's Day post was amazing. Which one, Benny, on the radio?
You did have quite a few.
Well, I had a couple. I had the one of Dad, the classic one that I always post of him in the Speedo from '89. And then I posted the what was the other? Oh, the one of him
And Ali.
Well, and dude, the one with him and Ali is one of the greatest pictures ever. And then the other one I posted was just him at one of my birthday parties. And if you look in that picture, in the background, you can just see Grandma Edna just kind of poking her head around.
Yes.
Oh, Grandma Edna. And I believe I had a Ghostbusters birthday cake that year, if you notice in the pictures. So, yes, sir. Father's Day. Of course, I got the great picture with me and old Luther. Did you see that picture, Luther? Yeah, he said, "Dad, I'm tired."
You posted it twice, so.
I did not mean to post it twice. And yes, the Ali picture was incredible. That was one that I just think is badass. And I have a picture with Ali, but it's not nearly as cool as my dad's picture with Ali. Let's see here. I pay my son to rub my feet because it builds character. Exactly. That's a character building thing. The cowboy hat, the pose, and the man himself. Yep, so it's my dad and Ali with their dukes up like this, and my dad wearing a black cowboy hat. It's great. Ah, boy. Would he wear the Speedo while you rubbed his feet? No, the Speedo was long gone by that point. So I bought my father a cameo video from Fred Lynn. How much is a cameo video from Fred Lynn? Let me try to take a guess. $40 for Fred Lynn. I'm going $40 for a Fred Lynn. Now, I know I guess it depends on the area. If you're up in that part of the country, it's probably a bigger deal, so it might be a little bit more. But I can't imagine there's a bunch of people clamoring for a Fred Lynn cameo. I don't think. Not to knock Fred Lynn in any way. I just don't see that being a highly sought-after cameo.
You'd be surprised, though. People on Cameo, they're cocky with their value.
Also, speaking of celebrity types, I got followed by Jerry the King Lawler today on Twitter.
Oh, finally, huh?
I know. Now we're officially friends for life. I don't know what I did today. Maybe he was impressed by my Bubba Wallace NASCAR takes.
That had to be what it was.
He's like, you know what? This guy's got a gift. He was on it from the start. He rewarded me with a follow because I was on it from the start. Who has the most overpriced cameo? Brock Osweiler, probably. But Brock Osweiler, if you
This was
get him
pretty
going,
cheap.
if you get him going though, he's pretty good.
Okay, like Lenny Dykstra's is $95.
I think that's worth the $95.
Maybe just because we can call him whatever we
Yeah,
want.
but I mean, I think that's worth it. Wait a second, $65 for Fred Lynn. I can live with $65 for Fred Lynn. I do miss Lenny. Maybe we'll have to check in with him soon. We have to Pearl Harbor him, as he said, and get in touch with him without him knowing we're calling.
Would you pay $150 for Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Yes. No, I don't think I would.
What about $299 for Scott Stapp?
Will he be singing? Will he be wearing his tinfoil hat? These are the questions.
Tay Diggs is $125.
Here's the thing about Tay Diggs, though. I think you're good enough with Tay Diggs just getting him to follow you on Twitter, which he follows everyone, and that's free. Josh does Cameo for $15 and an order of McDonald's fries. Dude, if I could make $15 for a Cameo, I'd probably make a couple, I'd make a couple of bucks.
You can get on Cameo,
And I couldn't. I'd feel like a total fucking loser just because, there's nobody that wants me to do that.
Would you pay $135 for Ernie Hudson?
How much?
$135.
For Black Ghostbuster?
Mhm.
Nah, probably not. I don't think so.
The guy who played the Crypt Keeper is only $55.
How about that? Does he do the voice and everything in the video? If not, it'd be really just like, hi, I'm Steve, and I play the Crypt Keeper, and what's up? Anyway, so we'll get out of here because I think I'm going to go to Dairy Queen tonight. I feel like a lack of sugar has started to impact me, and I'd really just like some...
there's dogs on Cameo? Why isn't Luther on Cameo?
Luther would
He's
like
got
to
a
be on
voice and
Cameo?
everything.
Hey,
Pugsy
guy.
Smalls over here is $10.
Hey, it's me. Larry David's only $125?
That's worth it.
Dude, Larry David for $125 is totally worth it.
What about William Hung for $30?
Blummer is $30. I wouldn't pay shit for
So-
Blummer to look at me all snarkily and smarmy like.
Blummer and William Hung are the same price, huh?
How about that? Anyway, get the hell out of Dodge. Let's say goodbye to the podcast audience first. Goodbye, podcast audience. All righty. And then it was just us together. All of our friends. All our rowdy friends are coming over tonight, is what's happening. We'll publish that. What should we name this podcast today, kiddos? What do you guys think? Just the NASCAR Noose Fraud. There we go. That's a good title. As we, let's see, Josh and Jilly discuss the latest news surrounding the NASCAR Noose Bandit. That sounds good. Let's see. Damn, I was way too late to getting to watch the show live. Well, remember, we're on at 7 Central now. 7 Central, so you want to be part of it. And you don't want to miss it because we have a good time. Let's see. If someone was going to spend $100 on a Cameo for me, I'd be pissed. Just spend $100 on something I want.
That's a fair point.
Let's see here. Is Bubba Wallace a fraud? I don't think Bubba Wallace is a fraud.
I don't think he is either.
Let's see. Surrounding the NASCAR Noose Bandit, Josh has been saying that something was off about this whole situation, and wouldn't you know it, there was.
It is fair though. I don't even know if it's really a hoax. I see news hoaxes trending. More so, I think people are just, everything's offensive, and they're looking for things to be racist, and they're looking for things to be
Yeah.
a bigger deal. I don't even know if I would call it a
The
hoax.
only thing that I would say about Bubba Wallace that seems fraudulent is, he would know that rope wasn't a noose. He's been around garages and everything his whole life. So
But
he's
if he never saw it, and maybe like you said,
And then how did nobody show it to him?
did they cut it? Did they take it right away, and then they had to hold it as evidence?
But those are the things that's that's the interesting part about all this.
Well,
Is
then I
why did he
still-
never see it?
I still don't like the FBI's statement, which makes it seem like there's been a noose here for a year or 6 months, however long. I don't even know what day it is.
I lose track of the days too. Let's see. Yeah, that's the question.
I enjoyed that earlier this morning. Al Sharpton said, "If we don't hear something soon, NASCAR can expect a visit from me, and I won't be coming to drive a car."
Well, I can assure you that he will not be showing up now. He's just slowly back into his hole. Like, all right, I'm out of here now, guys. See you later.
Good deal.
Yes. All right, this should be ready to publish. Bada bang.
Okay, so actually, this is John Heyman says the plan now is for MLB teams to play 40 games in division and 20 games interleague with their geographic counterpart. Which, I mean, really, is just going to have the Astros traveling a lot. It's not like
Yeah.
their geographical counterparts in the.
In the National League. So who would there, because it's interleague, right?
Yep, so like the East versus the East, the Central versus Central, so the West versus the West.
Yeah, but no, that's different. No, that's division.
No,
That's
but that's the geographic counterpart as well. Your interleague. So if you're in the AL West, you're playing the NL West.
Oh, I see.
Because they're trying to cut down on travel. But when you're the Astros and you're already having to go play Oakland and San Francisco,
And then you get to play the Dodgers.
and then the Dodgers and Arizona and the Rockies,
Yes.
just move out west. Like,
Boy. Might as well.